Hello everyone, it's Dale here. Today we have a lot of exciting news to cover. Updates from Valve, improvements or a clever plan, ESL dancing to Gabe's tune, new major rules, the final showdown at Blast this year, Vertigo is a candidate for removal, how did Gabe confuse analysts, expiring knives on Face It. What do we have here? It's a promo code for the best case opening site, GGDROP. You can get all these skins on the GGDROP site, and if you enter the promo code from the screen, you get plus 11% to your deposit and a free spin. LUT best skins on GGDROP. In one of the recent updates, Valve focused a lot on the Workshop Tools map editor. They worked on the rendering system, fixed lighting issues, adjusted scaling for some editor elements, fixed 2D rendering errors, and improved foliage textures and shaders. I'd like to think that Valve is making all these editor changes because they're working on new locations for the game. Maybe it's Train, which was featured in the game trailer but didn't make it to the release? Or perhaps their plan is more cunning. They're giving the community better tools in hopes that enthusiasts will come up with something amazing that Valve can buy, saving time and money. Recently, a remastered version of the map Agency was uploaded to the workshop. It was first introduced in CSGO in 2017 and was removed in 2023 along with the old version of CS. Now, the map has received a full remake. All corridors, textures, and objects have been reworked and improved, yet the map has retained its iconic feel. It's only gotten better. It's entirely possible that Valve will take note and bring it back officially. But Valve's activity isn't limited to in-game changes, they're also conducting esports now. Starting in 2025, ESL will have to adapt to new Valve regulations that will govern tournament operators in our favorite CS. After PGL and Blast presented new approaches to organizing tournaments, it's ESL's turn, and they've announced new tournaments based on Valve's global rankings, since there's no other choice. Previously, ESL invited teams based on their own rankings and through victories in certain tournaments. However, starting in 2025, all major ESL events will only allow teams based on their standings in the Valve ranking. ESL's flagship events, IEM Katowice and Cologne, will retain their three-stage formats, but all 24 teams will now be invited exclusively based on the Valve rankings, with no additional slots for local qualifier teams. The biggest changes will be in the ESL Pro League. Season 21 will run from February 25th to March 16th, and will feature 24 teams instead of the usual 32. The tournament will switch to a Swiss system, with all matches being BO3. Half of the participants will be invited based on Valve's rankings, while the other half will come through ESL Challenger Leagues and previous tournament winners. ESL plans to give out a total of $11 million in CS2 tournaments in 2025. While ESL is reducing the number of teams, CS2 Majors, starting from 2025, are planning to increase the number of participants from 24 to 32 teams. This major format update will be the first since 2018 when the number of teams was increased from 16 to 24. According to HLTV, with the increase in the number of teams, big changes are also coming to the qualification process for majors. RMR tournaments, which have been the final qualification stage for the past 4 years, will be eliminated. Instead, major invitations will be based on Valve's regional ranking system. To accommodate the additional 8 teams, another Swiss stage will be added to the existing tournament stages, increasing the total duration from 14 to 18 days. The first tournament to adopt this new format will be the Blast.TV Austin Major, scheduled for June 9th to 22nd, 2025. Meanwhile, as we await the new competitive CS era under Valve's total control, we still have Blast Premier, World Final 2024, the last major tournament of the Blast Premier season, taking place in Singapore from October 30th to November 3rd. 8 of the world's best teams will compete for a prize pool of $1 million. The organizers have already published the schedule and group stage matches. Navi, the leaders of Group A and winners of IEM Rio 2024, will face Astralis in their first match. For the Danes, it's a chance to prove themselves after a rough start with their new captain, Casper Kadian. Moose and FaZe are also in Group A, eager for victory to redeem their recent losses. To Navi, in Group B, Vitality, as reigning Blast Premier champions, will start against Spirit, who have already won a Blast tournament this year and are looking to regain confidence before the upcoming major in Shanghai. G2, and Liquid Round. Out Group B. Despite recent inconsistent results, G2 intends to bring their best game against Liquid, who are also aiming for a new trophy. After the group stage, the top 2 teams from each group will advance to the playoffs to compete for the grand prize and the Blast Premier World Final 2024 title. As for the maps these battles will take place on, that's still up for debate. Vertigo was the least popular map at IEM Rio 2024, only being played twice throughout the event. At several recent major tournaments, Vertigo was either played minimally or not at all in professional matches, and more players and analysts are discussing the possibility of removing this map from the competitive pool. The question of whether it should remain in the active map pool has been raised in the CS2 community for a long time, and it might finally be time for a change. Valve hasn't made any official statements regarding potential changes to Vertigo, but with each tournament, more teams and players are voicing dissatisfaction. If the map's popularity continues to decline, we might see its replacement in the near future. Meanwhile, analysts have also been busy. It's been revealed which region has players with the best reaction time. According to statistics shared by Leadify, most players from Asia in Premier Mode in CS2 need only 100 milliseconds to deal damage to an opponent. 57.1% of players from this region have such a reaction time. In Europe and North America, most gamers take between 500 to 600 milliseconds to deal damage. I have no doubt in the seriousness of the research. There's even a graph. But honestly, this statistic is quite amusing. It turns out that reaction times for Asians are several times faster than those of Europeans. Okay, but then where are the invincible teams from this region? Where are the Eastern versions of Simple, Monesi, and Zaiwu? The answer might be simpler than expected. The statistics are based on games involving players with ratings above 25,000, and many believe that these numbers are the result of cheaters, whose presence in Premier Mode is through the roof. You see, Gabe, because you won't fight cheaters, not only are regular players suffering, but even respected researchers are being misled. Gabe, beat the cheaters please for the sake of science! Quick reactions are extremely important in CS, and it seems like FACEIT decided to help players develop this skill in a rather unusual way. FACEIT occasionally holds knife giveaways, and recently they gave away a skeleton knife worth around $1,000. The catch was that the prize could only be claimed within 4 hours of announcing the winner. The notification was sent to the winner 15 minutes before the deadline, and they didn't make it in time to claim their prize. Naturally, the guy was very upset and shared his sad story with the community. I guess FACEIT assumes everyone watching has the same reaction speed as Asians, 100 milliseconds, and they gave 15 whole minutes for the notification. Sure, people should have made it in time. If you want to always collect your prizes on time, join events on GGDROP, the best case opening site. That's all for today. As always, I'm Dale, and I hope you've remembered to subscribe and hit that like button. Have an epic time in your matches.